Robinson. They call me Jay.
This is Michael Jeffrey. They call me Mike Jeff.
This is Logan Barnes, and they call me Pounds.
This is Vince Smith, and they call me Vinny.
And this is The Last Dab.
Yeah.
Here we are back on The Last Dab, baby. Number 58.
58. I was just watching the clip we had got put together on Facebook, our year anniversary. Episode 41. It's crazy to think that we were talking about in that episode, realistically, you could do at least 40 or 52 episodes a year, right? Because 52 episodes or 52 weeks in a year, right?
Per week.
I think with a lot of the stuff we've been talking about, a lot of things we've been branching out into, I think we're going to hit that 52 this year.
Oh, for sure, bro.
I think we're going to have every week.
At minimum. And then I think there might be extra.
I mean, we usually do have something every week, but I'm saying I think we were at like 41, and then with our fight nights and stuff, we were at
like 46 or 47.
Yeah, so I mean, we were almost there anyways.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good for our first go around, but
our first
58,
week.
And we got
Who do we have on today, Logan?
We got my really, really good friend, Nick the Bloom Dog.
How you doing?
My brother.
Fucking right.
Welcome on.
We've chatted a few times already about not anything deep. We usually when we have a guest, we'll open up with how we kind of know the guest.
Yeah.
You can kind of give yourself an introduction if you want.
Sure.
Just say whatever you want to about yourself. But I think for this episode, we're all on the same page. When we get Jay in here, Logan's the only one that knows you personally, right?
Yep. Yeah. I think we're all on a personal level now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, again, we've had some chats already, so I feel like we kind of get a gist. But go ahead and let us know what you about.
Sure. So my name's Nick Bloomer, and I own a small company called Bloomer Bioactive, and really just working with nature and working with some of these smaller animals that have this interesting kind of collectability to them, and then also doing a lot with like jungle plants and different plants, different animals, different systems, different functions. I mean, trying to recreate nature in a box, because I think the animal trade as a whole
is just a great way of saying that.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I do. Logan and I met back at Home. And
let's tell them what At Home is.
I was going to say, where's home for you?
Yeah, that was a furniture store that we were working at. We were working in the back, and it wasn't.
It was the worst.
I remember those days.
Fun.
I remember
you.
It was the worst home that I've ever had.
Yeah, it was abusive, borderline. I don't want to go back to that.
Never go back to that home.
So we've overcame, and we're better people for it now. I think it was horrible.
It's crazy because you fucking met Dylan through At Home too, because I got him a job there for like a brief moment.
I think we hung out a few times before that.
Oh, you're right.
Stuff.
Yeah,
but
right.
Briefly, I think he was there when I was there. Yeah.
So we actually like built At Home. We started it before it was even like a thing, right? Or did you come into it?
No, I mean, I was there from the very beginning.
Like the transfer of the store. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like when it was like a completely different.
So you guys had a store already, and you moved it.
More or less, it was already a store.
Yeah, it's like they had just unloaded everything, and they hired like a temp team to help set it up, and then
that's always a really fun process. I've only done it once with one company where you like the whole company jumps up and moves location.
Yeah,
but no matter what you do, like what company it is, when you have to move locations, it's a wild process.
Yeah. It was a Gander Mountain before,
really,
and so like Nick said, we got there. There was there was nothing, but they had like the framework kind of.
Yeah, but even then, that really wasn't built.
Yeah,
it was.
We kind of built it, the framework and shit. You remember making all the shelves?
I remember them
and shit?
trying to teach us how to do it, and quickly realizing that this isn't going to work. And the temp teams had left and everything.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and then once it did get going, we were fucking unloading trucks. Remember, it was hot.
Yeah,
it was cold. There were.
So you guys were some forklift buddies, right?
It wasn't even forklift. No, they had us.
They didn't have a
handed-
forklift.
No,
they had like
shit.
a Bally or was it
They had one of those.
Ballymore?
Yeah,
Something like that.
It lifted up, but it wasn't like a cherry picker.
They didn't even tell us it was sticks for months. Like
Yeah.
they're letting us walk shit up ladders. I mean, it was
Big
I work at
furniture.
So I work at a place right now. Not to get off on a side tangent here, but everybody knows that it's hard to get a lot of tech parts, car parts, anything like that. It's kind of hard to get right now. But parts for forklifts and like batteries and shit like that, super hard to get. And we have so many machines down that we can't get parts for.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's crazy right now with the mechanical parts. But yeah, that was a side tangent. Like I said.
That's just how it is. Yeah, we were unloading trucks of fucking furniture, and they literally didn't have like the right equipment for people not to like. I mean, that was like lift with the team. Even that, bro, we're lifting
So,
$1,000 furniture.
Let me ask this: you guys work together there. Were you doing your other business here?
So
or?
I started doing this pretty much, I think it was like January or February of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really hasn't been long at all. And I've been trying to actually keep my schedule open because I need a lot of flexibility. So I don't have a part-time gig or another full-time gig. This is the only thing that I'm doing right now. So it's like I can go to these expos and make $500. I might make $1,000 in a day, and there's nothing else that'll quite let me do that. And at the same time, and this is with the smaller animals like I work with and bigger animals too, there's much of a demand for poached stuff. Things that really are just like taken from the wild, thrown in a container, and sent wherever that they can be sold.
Right.
And it's not cool. And so there's a whole new wave of people that are doing captive bred animals and trying to conserve through commercialization, and then also just keep them, have them available.
Is this an all year? Like you do this all year?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do it year round pretty much.
Because you said, you have to forgive me personally, but you do everything from animals all the way to insects to plants.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like
It's
Fish?
everything.
Fish?
Yeah, I do fish too.
Lizards.
Yeah, a little bit
of
lizards.
reptilians and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't breed any geckos or any
Well, I was
reptiles or anything
asking
like
because
that. Yeah.
I knew with some of like insects and plants is like a seasonal thing depending on.
Yeah, so it's like it's easier to do a lot of the plants in the summer just because of space alone, just having stuff in greenhouses
and
outside.
You're probably a little bit of indoor and outdoor.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess. Yeah.
Absolutely. And also, it's different shipping things too. It's like I do ship these, so trying to. So far, I have no dead on arrivals. Everything has been 100% successful, and that's just paying attention. That's just packing stuff the right way.
Taking care of your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And even then, when you ship something out that's worth what it's worth.
I couldn't even imagine. Not to interrupt, but like, have you guys ever shipped a plant or an animal or an insect?
I have not.
What do you mean? It's like, so you send like a plant to someone. Or
The
something.
isopods, I'd say, is about your most popular item.
Yeah, so it's isopods and
break down an
springtails.
isopod for us, bro, because I was straight confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. So isopods, yep. Those are more or less just roly-polies. I mean, I think most people know roly-polies, but what they don't know is how many different ones there are, how many of them don't ball up the same way.
Yeah.
And more importantly, just the fact that they are all over the world. So a lot of the ones that I carry are from Vietnam or Thailand or Greece. And they kind of have this like collectability that I think reminds a lot of people of like Pokemon, just because they're so easy to just take care of them and keep them and keep them well too.
No, you're good. You're doing good.
But
Name what are some of the names of them?
so I'll try and do it here with what he's
Here
holding
we
up.
go,
So
he's got it.
That's the magic potion there. So that's Armadillidium vulgare. And the armadillidium is kind of like armadillo. So that's where the balling up and the actual segmentation on it comes from.
Okay.
There's the Cubaris red tiger. I believe that'll be kind of like Thailand area or sort of like a semi-tropical coastal.
Looks like it's got some big pinchers on that one.
No, that's just antennas.
They're little antennas
They're
on
just
it.
running around there. Yeah, that's a Montenegro Kalugi. I want to say that one's
Got some-
the Baltic Mountains.
Baltic Mountains, bro.
I could be wrong. I might be thinking of the Warneri there.
The fact that you're even.
Yeah.
You're somewhere remotely close.
Yeah.
You fooled me.
Well, I know it's
promise
from the
ya.
continent of Montenegro, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah,
I mean,
he knows
but,
that
but
part.
it's a ridiculous amount of information, and some of the, I mean, there's a lot of times where it's like, where did this information spread? How did it spread? It's like going from pill bug to potato bug to roly poly to isopod. I mean, it's all these different dialects because I mean they are just bugs, or actually they're not bugs. We can get into that thing too.
I called it a
I just
bug.
did it. It's easy,
So it's
right? It's
saying it.
easy.
Okay.
That's why.
We'll have to definitely get into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they are crustaceans. Technically, they're closely related to lobsters and saltwater isopods because those exist.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
amphibious species, freshwater amphibious isopods too, so they can swim and come out of the water. And
Well,
do
there's
that.
plenty of conspiracies that these things aren't even from here. So we're
I feel
gonna
like
have
they
to get
could
into
be.
some shit.
It's like
here
the
soon.
the mushroom spore on the meteorite that lands on the planet.
Yeah,
Yeah. Get all McKenna on it. Sure.
Oh, what's up, Jay?
Hold on one second. We gotta change the output.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me change the output.
Give us 10 seconds.
Well, man, you
We changed the output, Jay. Calm down, man. Don't
while we
bust
get
look.
Jay,
Come on.
Jay situated in here, you did a great job explaining that. And
So I could go for hours.
I mean,
it's just
yeah.
it's nuts.
So one more
Try
time,
now.
real quick.
yeah.
Tell everybody your business name.
All right, so my business name is Bloomer Bioactive.
Okay.
I just kind of keep it as a
That's
biological
a really cool
supply
name.
company.
Sounds smooth off the tongue.
Right.
Yeah.
Bloomer Bioactive.
The alliteration. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I can see like a Tony Stark giant building, Bloomer Bioactive.
He flies by it.
He's just got isopods crawling over the building and it's just like,
Jared, I want to introduce you to my buddy Nick.
How you
Nick
doing,
Bloomer.
man?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Doing all right.
So what is it? It's a bio.
I call it a
It's
biological supply company, and really it's just
Biological
using
supply
smaller
company.
animals like these isopods here to get them into people's reptiles tanks and let them clean up waste and actually serve as a function to try and recreate some of the natural things that are going on outside in nature, but doing it
Oh,
in a
cool.
tank because I think that's kind of coming back. It's been lost and everything kind of went sterile. So
Right,
Yeah.
right, and that's something that's like, you know what I mean? Like that's helpful for the environment. Like that's like a job that actually means something. Like you take
Yeah.
a lot of pride in that work, man.
And a lot of it's all inside too, so it's not necessarily outside. But I think on the large scale, it could have some implementations. I don't know the depth of it. I don't know how far I even want to take it. I like the isopods; they're cool. They're my hobby. They're my interest. But I think they are kind of a means to an end for me. There's other things that are worth more money, or at least more passionate for me, like doing the discus, the fish. There's just nothing else I've seen that are like them. So
The fish you have are cool as fuck.
yeah,
bro.
the discus are awesome.
His room is basically like
I don't even want to know.
segmented. Yeah, it's got hella fish tanks, some decent sized boys,
Yeah.
and then just like different shelves of different isopods and like here show them
Yeah, I can pull it up
show
there.
them the shelves of the different
I gotta
labeled
see
isopods.
see
like bro,
a-
here wait, show Jared
Here you go.
show Jared some of those pictures too.
Yeah.
Those are different types of like.
Yeah,
Those,
they're just shoebox containers
Yeah.
for the most part, but making sure that they have the right ventilation, that they're escape proof.
You explained it in a pretty good way the other day. You said trying to make would you say like God's garden in a shoebox or something?
No, but I think just recreating nature in a
Yeah.
box, really.
That's-
Yeah.
It's just weird to even say that. Recreate nature in a box.
Yeah,
Like that's just
I like it.
Or a better way to put it would be a biomimicry. That's its
Show
own
Jared some
group.
of those
Huh.
pictures.
And that's even cooler. Yeah, Jay, we had went through some of these. This man knows his stuff. Let's just put it that way.
Can you
What
see
are
that?
those?
Can you see it, Jared? Those are the isopods.
These are the things that we've been kind of talking about.
They're not bugs.
Yeah, they are crustaceans. But I sold a couple of those yesterday when I was up in Goshen, Indiana. It's 2.5 hours up north.
Goshen.
Yeah.
So he goes-
Elkhart
Goku,
County.
Indiana. There we
Yeah.
go.
But I sold 10 of those for about $120 typically.
10 of them.
You hear me, bro?
And I had
And what-
at least one other vendor that bought 2 at one time. So, I do a deal on it, and that's kind of it. But they're not all worth that much. Some of them are slower to produce, but that's the thing, is actually producing them, actually knowing how to take
That
care
one
of
looks like
them.
a roly poly. They look like roly poly.
Yeah, that's
Little
exactly
bit.
what they are. But not all of them ball up the same way. But yeah, most of them do.
You take these pictures yourself?
Yeah, I do all the photography too.
Dude, damn.
Nice.
Telling you,
Good
bro.
job,
Bloomer's the
bro.
shit, dog.
Thank you.
How do you even get, like, that must be some high focus shit or something, right?
Yeah, it's macro. Working all with the arthropods or invertebrates. It's
I don't know anything
macro-photography.
about it, so forgive my
I feel like it would be called
So
micro
what-
photography.
Yeah.
What is the purpose that someone would buy buy one of those? Like for what?
So it's kind of split. So there's people that collect them just as standalone pets, and then there's other people that want them for the function. All right, and that's the bioactive people. So when you have like, let's say, a ball python snake, right, and you have that in a 20-gallon or 30-gallon tank, and you have options of how you're going to build everything about this, because it is just a glass box, right? So you're going to start from the ground up with the dirt, right? The substrate, what the animal's going to sit in. You can make that nutritious for the bugs here, or you can leave it kind of barren and let the reptile itself kind of defecate in the tank. The isopods will go and try and eat that. The springtails.
Eat the poop, what?
Yeah, the springtails in there. I sell those as well. They'll go and do that. And you can just kind of start to reduce some of the smell from carnivorous animals, especially, and also just keep things a little bit cleaner, and also just keep things going naturally. So trying to reduce a little bit of work for you, but to create a full scale system that is self-functioning on its own.
So you don't really have
I mean, you want to be able to clean the tanks too, but I think this is one of those higher level things where people are pushing this because they want to recreate nature.
Yeah.
It isn't necessarily been done. Like the zoos are on par with what people can do at their own home. It's just people's best attempts so far. So there's a lot to it. You know, it's you can go and go and go. You can try and make it as particular as you want. You know, if you want to add worms in it, if you want to add centipedes into it, which will hunt down the isopods. I mean, you can.
Did you have some centipedes?
No, I had some millipedes at one point.
Millipedes.
And that's another one. They're just like the isopods for like a cleanup crew.
Yeah.
I see what you were, that quote of his that you liked, Mike, of pretty much like, it's like you're making your own little environment and just little things are going on. You know what I mean? It's like that episode of Rick and Morty when they're like miniature, like, what is it? Like,
they go into his brain, right? The dude's brain, and he's got a whole ass, like, fucking
there's a whole
world.
Like, they're all living there.
And it's just
It's all operational. You just don't even see
was the Google Stomps or what Google boxes or
Google
something.
boxes. It was all to
like
power his car.
You said that it hasn't really been done before, so like let's think about like where we could go off like further from it and be like, are you gonna like collide two buckets and be like, you know what I mean, different different in the food chain?
What I mean by it hasn't been done before, I think it's like if we have a very, very specific spot in nature, right? Like, I don't know, take somewhere local, whatever park you've been to, right? Something that's actually been preserved the right way, where it has
Yellowstone?
Yeah, exactly. Trying to recreate that in a box. How do you do it?
It is. I mean,
Even just one piece of it, 1 foot, 1 square foot of it. How do you make it exactly the way that it is
You
inside of a
won't.
box?
Just like we've talked about a lot. Jared just got some Humboldt County bud from California, from the Triangle. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I've been smoking on those for a minute now.
And it's like
those ones are
the soil there in that triangle where they can grow. And it's not just bud, even like tomatoes and stuff. They grow stuff there so much better because of that soil. And it's like to mimic soil anywhere is like so fucking hard.
Yeah.
that's a good ass.
I mean, there's
point.
soil science. I mean, that is its own field of biology, sure.
Literally.
And
Would
you know,
you-
I do make these substrate mixes, so I know a little bit, but I'm by no means an expert. Like, you know, got to remember, I haven't gone to school for biology. I mean, I've dropped out twice and then realized, oh, I really like this, and it kind of fits the right way. But I'm still just a guy that decided to do this because I realized I could. You know,
Right.
that's
right.
what I get for talking with my hands.
Hey, we do a lot of that here too.
Yeah.
Coating on.
So do you think to start off, if you wanted to mimic
we still
an
have
environment, do you think the best way to start is to like start with a piece that is actually from that environment and then just keep on like building on from that environment and then put it in that box? Or are you starting it pretty much from like zero, growing into that environment?
I mean, like I said, you have to start somewhere. So if you have something in mind, right? So it's like if you look at crested geckos, which are fairly popular in the reptile hobby, and they're not super old, they're fairly new to the hobby, even though they're everywhere for the most part. But they're from one little island, and it's the island of New Caledonia, right? And it's not tropical; it's semi-tropical. So it's like 75 degrees most of the time, and it's like 60-70% humidity. But in the rainforest, it's much warmer. That's much more wet, and it's a little bit darker, and they're nocturnal. So,
and you have one of them, right?
yeah, I do have one of them. Yeah. So it's like I'm kind of in a rut right now.
They're
'cause I'm
nocturnal, you
struggling.
said?
Yeah, most
that's-
geckos are nocturnal, but there's plenty that are awake during the day too. There's hundreds of species of geckos.
So many fucking
Gecko.
geckos.
I had just
The geckos are cool.
I had just moved to a tub of dirt earlier, and there was a little like salamander chilling in the crack of the side
Yeah,
of
it's
the
about that time of
concrete.
year. Yeah.
It's like I uncovered him. He's like, "Hey man," like you know what I mean, like trying to like walk away and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking with me. But
I got
so how big of? Sorry if I'm
no,
going.
go ahead. Go ahead.
How big of like whatever you're growing, like how big do you go? Just about enough for the size of the buckets that you have, like just enough to contain it. How or would you vary?
Most of them will reproduce, or the isopods anyway. Like they'll just keep reproducing endlessly for the most part. But you want to make sure that they're looking like what they are. You're right.
Yeah.
People are generally buying these for the cosmetics of them, which is. That's kind of just a product of the pet trade. Yeah, they like the differences.
But you keep.
So you want like a nice healthy?
Yeah, exactly. I want to do good by the animals, and I want to do good by just keeping everything as clean as a bioactive thing could be. I mean, clean doesn't really exist, but
you can store those isopods in just little like Tupperware containers. Bro.
Yeah, you could. I don't think they keep very well in the little like deli containers,
Yeah.
but that's what they are taken to shows in, and I ship them out in. It's like, so going back to the shipment question earlier, to send them, like I've sent them 1,000 of the dairy cows, which there's a picture of those in there. They're the ones, white ones with the spots. 1,000 of those to California, right? And really just taking the time to count everything out. Yep, that's them.
The dairy cows. Hey, Mike knows now.
Yeah, and those are a little bit nippy too, so they're not even really great for bioactives.
1,000. Okay, so 1,000 of these for how much?
That was about $350, and that's wholesale to like somebody that's going to put them in.
$350. Get it here. Listen, Bloomer Bioactive.
Yeah. So I don't work too much with those anymore. Like I wouldn't even try and do that number again. It's not worth it. It was so risky because it's like if it doesn't work the first time, I need to have double.
Yeah.
All right, it's 2,000. I don't even want to keep 2,000 of that species necessarily. They don't sell.
You've done a great job at explaining everything so far. But you brought up the fact that a lot of people buy them for cosmetics. Can you go more in on the purposes of them? Because I'm sure there's more purpose than just people wanting them for cosmetics or just for the hobby of doing it like you're doing. But like my example I wanted to bring up was Joe Rogan had Ali Sadiq on the other day. He's a comedian that went into pretty good detail about how he's been experimenting for multiple years on growing his own garden,
right?
And how he's had troubles with keeping certain insects and certain things out or in.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about how like ladybugs can be added to a garden and defend off a lot of insects, but it will also attract different insects and stuff. So I don't have a high knowledge on any of it, but what I'm trying to get at is with some of your isopods, do they have any purposes where you can add them to an environment for a specific reason?
So that's kind of the difference between like saying when something enters the hobby. What that means is it's going into a captive bred setting. It's not native. It should never, ever be released, right? And that's leopard geckos. That's every single species of isopod that I carry. There's one that is native to the area, but even then, I wouldn't encourage it to be released just because it's been bred captively. Right. So it doesn't look like it's from the same area.
And there's a clear difference between bred captively and
absolutely. Right? And the big one is that they're disease free, or at least a little bit more disease resistant for your animal in a captive setting. You have no idea what pathogens or what viral things could be on one that you're bringing in from outside. So it's like, even I've gotten that from people at expos where they're like, oh, these are just roly-polies. I can get these outside. I'm like, go ahead. It's kind of at your own risk. And I mean, they could do it and they probably won't have any issues, realistically speaking, but it's just not worth it when you have an animal that you actually care about and you've spent either thousands of dollars on it because you wanted something very specific, or really you just don't want to do wrong by your animal. I mean, you don't need to overthink it too much. So
we could, like, example would be these microphones for the fucking podcast. We could have bought some, mics at work. But we did. Decided to get.
We did do that at first.
We did at first, but now we understand. And I like the example of go out and just get those regular ass roly-polies that are here in Indiana. You're going to see
they
why.
exist. They're absolutely everywhere. I mean, there's like, I have friends that have over 125 species of those little shoe boxes just stacked and stacked and stacked. I mean, you can take care of them by feeding them once every like 2 weeks. So I mean, it's minimal work.
Back to the question though. They do kind of serve a purpose for like basically kind of what I'm asking is like, if I put them in like a certain environment, are they gonna like kill a certain type of bug for me? Are they gonna eat a certain type of thing, or like what? Like, how do they impact an environment? Like, I'm trying to.
So on one hand, they do eat certain vegetation. Leaf litter is the big one, right? So leaves during the fall time when they fall to the ground, right, and then it rains and they start to develop all the microbial just gunk and fungus and bacteria all on it.
Yeah,
and they start to rot. And that's fungus and such taking hold to allow that process to take hold.
I think I saw some of those leaves today when I was leaf blowing my yard. I'm not kidding. Like leaves that have been stuck to the dirt, matted with water and shit for a while.
Yep. So all of that, and then if there's like all the right resources nearby, like limestone or different types of stone, which Indiana has a ton of, right? And then hardwood leaves, so like oak and maple, that sort of thing. They'll take and just destroy the leaves. I mean, that's what they do. They'll break down every single bit of the leaf itself and leave just the skeleton of the leaf behind. And they just turn it to dirt pretty much. So I have some cultures that are really, really old where it's getting higher and higher and higher just from feeding them these leaves.
You've done a lot on your photography I've seen, which is awesome. I'm sure that's a big component of your business. But have you ever tried doing any like Vinny here, shouts out to Vince here. He's been doing a lot of the speed videos, hyperlapse.
Yeah.
So have you ever tried to do time lapse of like one of them eating a leaf or something?
Yeah,
I've seen some of those before, and it could be really fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, I could probably take it a step further. Those dairy cows are very, very protein aggressive. I've had fish die in the fish tanks, and I can just kind of set them in the box, and they are gone.
They're gonna eat the fucking fish.
No. They'll eat all of the flesh,
We
all
gotta
the
do
eyes,
that.
all the parts. I mean, the skeleton itself is gone because think about it. It's protein.
Bro, you get me
it's calcium.
You get me a
it's all the
time
right
lapse
stuff.
of that. That will be the beginning of our podcast for an episode.
Yeah,
bro, that would be so cool, bro.
You know, actually, I might.
We need to get some segments of that, Nick.
Let's
I'm
do it.
telling
Yeah.
you.
It might be doable. It might
Bloomers.
just be doable.
I don't want to push you or anything, but
Oh, we're pushing you, right?
I won't feed anything live.
It would
of
look
course.
cool, like just like seeing it like devour a whole.
Bro, how long does it take for them to do it?
It'll
How
be
many
a
are
while.
we talking?
With as many as I have in this one culture,
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
a day.
No shit, dude. But I was expecting like a few days.
No, I mean, maybe with some other species, but with these in particular, the dairy cows, I mean, they really can't.
They sound like they're cute and all, but so would they?
I mean, they're
so would
opportunists.
enough
They're
They're
little
eat-
piranhas.
Would
The
enough of them
piranhas, dude. They
eat
just
a
eat
human?
whatever.
Yeah, well, what they are is they're
Like,
detritivores.
protein.
So it's anything that would be on the forest floor. That's leaves. That's maybe a dead carcass, right?
Would they eat
Deer.
us?
Okay.
They'd eat us.
Absolutely.
They'd eat
Here's
us.
my next
Absolutely.
question. How old are these little bastards?
How old are they?
Yeah,
16
dude.
years old.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying like,
Social.
Like
no,
how
no,
long
got
they
their
live
life.
for?
I got
or
like
You know,
like two
like how long
questions.
is the species?
Yeah,
Is that-
I got. How
Oh,
long has
okay.
these realistically been around on Earth? Because I'm sure it's gonna be crazy.
I actually don't know enough about like the prehistoric context, but it definitely would be
Okay,
prehistoric.
let's just
yeah.
ask this: were they around when the dinosaurs were?
Yeah,
Gotta be.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
fuck
sure.
There's no doubt.
Do you
in my
think they
mind.
were bigger?
Absolutely.
They
yeah.
were bigger.
Go, again,
God.
look at the saltwater
Yes.
isopods. You
Yeah.
know, they're much bigger. They're this big. And what's kind of cool too is that in saltwater they destroy the coral reefs, but these will kind of destroy moss.
Wait, hold on. They destroy the coral reef?
Absolutely.
Bro, we're
I
gonna
got a
have to
problem
figure
with
some
that.
shit out, bro.
Yeah.
I w- Wait, the most recent, like over in like Australia and shit, in the coral reefs over there, like that's why that shit's dead.
No. I mean, it could be
Oh.
for smaller portions of it, but that's entirely
Yeah.
just human destruction.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
just what-
that's
shit that
unfortunate. That was avoidable. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, all I'm imagining is like coming in, riding on a fucking roly poly and fucking conquering like mini world and shit. Like my roly poly just fucking devours anything. Like
Anything in the way, Jared's like, oh, I'm God.
I'm almost positive that's in a game of
somewhere
some sort.
or something.
video
I
game
know.
has that.
That's why I'm
One.
telling you, it's like in my brain somewhere.
It's in there. It's in there. It is for sure now. So, so the other one I had was just like, how long kind of can they live? Like, they,
I want to say
what's a healthy life for one of these little fellas?
I should
He's
have
getting
more
one.
information on hand about actually how long that they live. And the reality is it's hard for me to tell because of how fast they reproduce under the right care and right
I was gonna say
settings.
out
so
in
many of
nature,
them.
it probably varies.
I think for some of them, it's probably realistically like 15 months. And for others, it might be more like 6 to 8. But when you're talking thousands in one bin, I mean, you really won't know. And especially when they actually will eat their own dead, to uptake the resources, to not lose it.
They eat their own dead homies.
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, they're not
Yeah.
wasteful.
Yeah.
They're using the resources that are on.
Like I said,
He
it's all
would have wanted to
calcium.
go like this.
Yeah, he asked for it.
And what's cool too, or not, I guess not cool, it's kind of morbid, but with some of them, they will give birth, right? And it's kind of chest burster style, but the babies will all make it and the mom won't. And but they will immediately uptake all of that. And it's like that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, absolutely. They're brand new baby isopods that just want to eat.
They're
Cycle, yeah.
but they're hungry, Jared.
Yeah.
They're hungry,
Yeah.
boy.
Wow.
So yeah, selling the isopods and springtails, food for them, and trying to figure out
You guys came.
what I can do to produce them better. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game,
Like a
really.
custom laser.
Cool, man. That's
They cut out like custom.
it's just unique.
You have
Like
to
I
look 'em up
that's
on
I didn't
Instagram.
even know this.
It's kind of crazy how many
About
people
this.
actually do it. Like how many people do know about it and know about it to enough to say that or know what those pictures are,
Right.
and then say this is worth $100.
Then
Right?
you're like, wait a minute.
Right.
And it's
I
like,
was gonna say you said
oh no, I think we lost him.
Jared, you muted yourself.
Oh, there we go.
sorry, I got a call.
Business.
But you
He's
said all the
important.
way you have like connections all the way like to the West Coast and all that. So
Yeah.
it does seem like it's pretty vast. Like I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean the pet trade it exists. It's widespread. People want animals. People want to keep animals, but
Is it a big thing here around like Indiana?
in
these
the
parts?
Midwest, it is massive, and it's one of those things that I had no idea was here. It was the way that it was, and that there was an industry where you could actually make a livable amount of money, and not just livable.
You got to
but
travel a
comfortable.
lot for this, man.
Yeah. So I was just up 2.5 hours north yesterday, and I was looking at Cincinnati. That's 2 hours. I've done Lexington, which that one I'll leave the night before, get a hotel.
Right.
But I can do that. I can
Yeah.
afford a hotel and justify
You're
it
your
and-
own
and make
boss,
money.
man.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm
That's what's
glad
it.
you're doing that, man.
It's really, really is fun.
Dude,
and there's
the
nothing
way
else like it.
the way you've explained everything, the way you've the expressions
sounds
on
like
your
a crazy
face, yeah,
system,
you're
It's organized chaos.
passionate
I think.
about it.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
very passionate. That's a good
I do
word.
enjoy it. It's better than anything else I could have stumbled into. There's no doubt. And to have family members that do it too, and to have this kind of crazy skill set, because not everybody can do it. It is kind of weird. There is kind of this like approach to it that's, I don't know, you just kind of stumble into it and you can either do it or you can't. It's thinking about stuff that you may not necessarily be able to see, and then
Right.
trying to do it better. And it's really not even like a competition thing with me versus like other people that will sell isopods at the same place, because there is other people that do it.
Right.
And some of them I just kind of run me the wrong way, and I think that they're doing it for the wrong reasons, or they're just flipping stuff that they can buy from other people and they don't know what they're selling. You know,
I feel like there's a lot of that probably.
Yeah.
Just straight
absolutely.
money. And it's
Are
like,
there any examples that like what would be the wrong way?
the wrong way to do it would be to import poached animals from a foreign country and have no idea whether or not somebody took them in and bred them in captivity and sold you those. Because if they're poached, they're poached, and that's the problem.
So there's a
Straight
lot of-
from the wild.
This business is a lot of reliability on like who. Like I'm sure you probably have good people and
Yeah.
you don't trust other
There's
ones.
people that just kind of slime up to you and ooze all over you, and there's people that you can just see this is what they like to do. You know, this is what they're interested in.
come here.
And really, at that point, you make friends with them. And when it
Right.
works, it works, and then you have a business partner, and you can work with people and just kind of make everybody's day a little bit better. You know, it really
Yeah.
is about having fun.
I bet you've met some awesome people, man.
It's really cool. Like seriously, it's interesting being able to meet somebody in Kentucky, being from Indiana.
Well, if they're
and
anything
go
like
to Chicago
you,
and see them.
If they're anything like you, they're gonna
Right.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Because like my brain
In
is
a different
like,
state.
tingling
Yeah.
on
You know,
those
like
things
two
I'm
people,
learning
both you guys
today,
in a
man.
different state
Yeah.
in the same place. It's all yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things too. Is like you kind of walk in the door and you realize like, oh, all these people walk like you. Their teeth are messed up like you. You know, their interests are in just like your interests, and they may be just as varied or have just as many different rabbit holes that they'll jump down and just hit you with all of it right off the bat. You know, so it's just really passionate people, and that they're not everywhere, but they are somewhere. You just got to find it. You know.
They walk like you. They talk like you. Don't like you.
So, I mean, because this is also reminding me of like the whole like, I mean, what do you think about like? Yeah, so it just reminded me of like Tiger King, kind of the whole Tiger King thing. I didn't exactly watch it, but I
No, I
pretty
actually
much
haven't seen it either.
understood,
But
like,
there's
Yeah,
some
you kinda
some
get it.
issues.
Have you guys seen that fucking monkey video with the seagull?
Yeah,
I didn't watch the sequel yet.
the seagull.
We're talking about
captivity
and stuff. Talking about a monkey, dog.
Yes,
Oh
explain
my
that. Explain
God.
that video.
that.
Explain it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Let's take a little break. We're gonna look it up. If anybody's listening, there's a video going viral right now of a monkey at a zoo. I'm not sure where.
Right.
But climbs to the top of this like wooden pole and netting system they have going on.
Yeah.
And grabs a seagull straight out of the air.
Straight
and
out
for
of the air.
probably about 2 minutes, not just like 5 seconds. It's about like 2-3
Yeah.
minutes of this monkey bashing this seagull to death. I mean,
Bro.
just
Harsh.
Yeah.
dude, and it's like if you guys have kids, if you take your kids to the zoo, dude, and you see this shit, like
Here it is.
I'm never taking my kids to the zoo again after this, bro. Look
No.
at this.
That monkey's going ham on this fucking seagull, bro. That's some like evolution shit, bro. Tell
Oh
me
my
that's not.
gosh.
Oh, I mean, I've heard.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it because one, I don't know enough about primates, but two, because I don't know if a seagull would ever exist in that monkey's
seagulls are
natural habitat.
assholes.
right,
Seagulls are
right.
fucking assholes. First off,
Yeah, fuck a
they're
seagull.
all fucking fat
Probably
little pricks.
defecating all over the enclosure all day.
Yeah,
If I
he's
really
like,
had to take a
"Fuck,
guess.
bro."
I mean, look how many of them are there.
They're like, yo, that's my homie, bro.
yeah.
He ain't no homie no more.
He
All I
knows
know
he
is
can't get
look,
each and every
pause
one
that.
of them, so he's
Pause
whooping
that.
his ass for each of his homies.
That
This
is a
for him.
scene out of a movie right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Planet of the
That
Apes.
looks like Planet of the Apes. Like
It really does.
this motherfucker just conquered this land real quick, and he's showing his dominance
Hey,
right
hey,
now.
hey,
Like,
we should Photoshop
this-
that into planes so it looks like a bunch of planes flying around.
Oh my
and he's
God.
No, hey,
smashing
listen,
the fucking
this is for
plane.
real. Bro, the drones, I don't like I should have, if you pay for land, what does that mean for the airspace above it? If people, different countries get pissed if you're in their airspace, shouldn't I have airspace? Shouldn't I get my upper airspace and nobody not be able to get in my property?
Shoot that motherfucker down, man.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to control the
a
ordinance.
BB gun will do
house, but I
just
don't know how
fine on one of
high.
those things.
Right. How high do you get?
Get a
that
fucking
control?
Because
buckshot.
at some point it's commercial.
That too.
You know, it's like, I
Right.
don't know.
How high is your air?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the drone should be registered with the FAA anyway, but
They're not going to every time.
You should fly like a signal from the ground, like a weather balloon that says like no drones in my airspace, and it's like a light
Right.
up there.
Well, I be seeing for real though. Someone could be spying on you. You don't know who. You know. You don't know who that is.
yeah.
I got.
These neighborhoods are like the backyards are like close by, but there's like a fence kind of in between. So it's like you.
Little bit of
someone
privacy.
just has everybody. Yeah, no privacy unless you got a fence.
What were you saying, Mike?
I was gonna say. All right, listen here.
Okay.
So,
I want to hear it.
deep in the woods, right?
Okay.
Of the internet. That's what I'm trying to say here. So deep on the internet and deep in the talks of nature
Okay.
from the wise, there's ways of growing your own morels,
Okay. Mushroom.
mushroom morels, right?
The dark
Now-
arts.
you seem like a pretty smart guy now. Mm-hmm. What can we do now? Come
Don't-
on.
yeah,
Can you grow
yeah,
me
so
some
you
morels? Is that a
You
real
wanna-
thing?
You
'Cause,
gotta
like,
grow somewhere else.
I don't know how, because people was like, no way, it's not possible. It's just Mother Nature. They're random, and like I've always heard, I've hunted them all my life that they're random spawn. You can't create an environment for them to spawn and all this stuff. But there's like things like if you look for this, they're probably gonna grow around these trees, or they're gonna grow around these hills, or So it's like, can we grow them? And if we can, I want to figure that shit out right now.
Oh.
Okay, so and this is again something that's really, really common that I have to answer. So it's like there's true, like a yes or no, as a definite response, right? And then there's good enough. That's right. So it's like you can't have the best, but you can have better than what you had, right? Right. So what I mean by that, where I'm going with that, is with morels, you can't grow them on a industrial scale. They cannot be cultivated directly with that 1-to-1. Yes, it will produce a result. But if you have the right trees and you kind of have coincidentally most of what they need, and you can do these slurries from ones you found.
Like, cause
or
I've hunted them
whatever.
for years, so I've heard like after thunderstorms and stuff, they do like damp environments, I'm pretty sure, but sometimes you can find them in dry environments. So it's like, because they'll grow on trees.
Right.
So it's like
it's mycorrhizal, so it's with along the roots of the tree. So it shouldn't be out of the tree necessarily, but out of the roots right above it on the soil. Yeah. Because
a lot of trees that have fallen down and shit, they'll
right after a storm, like if the wind pushes it over, forest fires.
So have you ever hunted them yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I took you out a little bit. I actually have one that's a research grade, so it's been DNA sequenced.
Really?
Yeah, I have the actual result back and all that stuff.
That's badass.
Yeah, so that was really badass. It's just the
say?
one, and that was kind of what set me off a little bit in trying to do more with the mushrooms and stuff too, and do more of just like microbiology stuff.
Because that's a lot about the soil and like the environment. That's just like that's
it's same area.
Yeah.
It's like if I was looking for isopods or springtails or different microfauna or small animals that, I'm going to look.
I got
mushrooms.
Facebook groups of like people that hunt morels, and they'll post their pictures and stuff. And
but going back to your question about of whether or not you can grow them, you can't necessarily grow them with that 1-to-1. Yes, it will happen, but you can encourage them to grow.
All right.
So you can improve the chances that they will exist, but it might take years. Like even with other species, if you inoculate
I go back to spots every year.
Next year,
I go back to spots every year, and it's usually the same. You know, they grow in the same.
If they've
spots.
been there for years, then they're going to keep coming back.
And a lot of people will say, when you pick them, you're not supposed to pick them all the way out of the dirt.
It's bullshit.
See, because people know you leave that stem a little bit, it might grow one back next. No,
I mean, yes, like the mycelium itself could regrow off that a little bit, but there's more abundantly under the ground, and you're not going to affect it. It's not enough. I mean, it's an organism that is beyond the fruit body of that mushroom. It's not just that mushroom. It's not just the base of it. You can cut it, you can pluck it. It doesn't matter what you do.
No.
So.
Gotcha.
But everybody has their camps that they like to hole up in.
Right.
You know, it doesn't necessarily matter if it's good or better or whatever. It's just, I feel better doing it this way. So that's the way.
Well, we'll have to go hunting one time.
For sure.
For sure. We need to do that.
Let's do the last
season,
damn hunt.
And the morels
coming
too,
soon.
They're not totally random. I've been watching the map. I've shown it to you a couple of times.
I've already seen people finding them right now.
Yeah, I've seen them down in Evansville. And as it warms up, I think the soil temp needs to be like 50 or 55 to 60.
Six
Like
guys,
that.
man. Southern
And
Indiana is a
3 inches
different
down.
animal down there. Like
down at Hoosier National.
Humidity is
Terre Haute,
different down
Terre
there.
Haute's my favorite spot to hunt, and I actually go over the border.
So when I lived in Vincennes, there was a bunch of people that hunted mushrooms.
And I went to
in the
ISU,
woods.
so I know Terre Haute a little bit.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, hell yeah, man.
So then Terre Haute's like northern, right?
No, western. Hard west.
Yeah.
Is it western?
Yeah, it is like almost on the line to Illinois there.
Like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
west.
Okay, that's right.
Like I said, when I go hunting in Terre Haute, I actually cross into Illinois.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
It's
it's
like,
like
it's not like Champagne, is it? Or is it like
I don't
There's a
know.
good old
or
spot
something
right
like that.
there in Illinois.
It's
past the border.
it's like we seriously like you can get on your phone and it'll tell you you're in Illinois. But
Sunnyside Dispensary. The highest prices.
my family's from West Terre Haute.
Oh, okay.
Like born and raised.
Right.
So I know plenty of stuff about the areas over there.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of crazy.
There's some
history,
honey
man.
holes, man.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying this. Don't go there.
Yeah. Don't go to the spot.
Don't go.
Don't do it.
Damn it.
This whole time he's been lying.
We're cutting this out.
Yeah.
I said Carafote, not Terre Haute. You know? All right. Is there anything you want to ask?
I don't want to
us,
add
bro?
to. I mean, I don't want to add to guiding them there, but it is interesting. Didn't they have like one of the biggest mushrooms found there in Terre Haute? Didn't they have that shit at one point in time, like in the newspaper? I think Cody told me a story about
my
that.
parents, or my dad and his family have a old photo. I'll have to get it one day. I might bring it in. But it's a picture of someone holding like a size 11 shoebox with morel mushroom in it. Like
Right.
fits-
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in there. Like it's the full size of the box. And I've found one personally the size of my beer can is the biggest I've ever found
Damn.
myself.
That's pretty big, too.
huge. It's
When
crazy.
you saw it, how fucking like excited were you?
It's dude, hunting morels with my family is the most exciting thing for me. It's some of the funnest times
Yeah.
because it's like literally just
It's an
you're in
adult
that, like-
Easter egg hunt.
Yeah,
it
you
really
literally,
is.
yeah, bro, that's so good,
exactly
bro.
what it is.
Fucking yeah.
I mean, I learned pretty quick though. Like
Cody will find one.
it's
It's not.
not-
Oh, over here, bub. Right here,
it's a,
bub.
it,
He's
it's a
oh, there's
lot.
another one,
I
bro.
can't-
Get ready.
Oh, there's another one.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
I can't tell if it's
get the
better
bags.
to be stoned or not. You know what I mean? Like, are you more focused? I know one time I thought there was a snake and it was just a big ass stick, and I had to, like 5 seconds. I had to think about it.
Well, it is kind of interesting because I think you have to train your eyes.
Yeah.
Because they look like the
Right.
leaves. You know, it's all that brown and just different shades of tan. I mean, you're in the woods. So
Took
So
my
much
5-year-old
blends
nephew out one year, and not even 15 minutes into one of our trails, he's never seen one in his life. Never seen one. Doesn't know what he's doing. He's just out for the venture, right? Finds one not even 15 minutes in. He's like, there's one. We're just thinking like, yeah, whatever. We're walking around. Dude, he found like 2 or 3.
I seriously
Perfect.
think he
Right.
has the advantage because of how low he is to the ground.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I
No.
seriously, I'm not bullshitting.
Get
If you
low, bro.
crouch and look at the landscape, and you'll see so much more.
Yeah,
of,
you'll
like,
see the.
I'm thinking
See,
like a
I want to go
You gotta
hunting
remember-
with this guy. I want to go hunting with him.
And it's also, you got to remember too, it's like you're looking at a hill, you're only looking at half of it. You know, there's the whole other side of it where the sun might be hitting that other side and you're in the dark and it's not as warm,
Yeah.
right? So there's,
Yeah.
it's just having an eye for it and being able to know what's what and
mushroom man.
something. I still don't have a spot. I found like the one, that's why I sequenced it. I'm like, I might as well. It's not enough to eat.
I'll take it. We'll go, man. We'll go. For
We'll
sure.
do it.
I wanted to ask. You know, we've been just bombarding you with questions now, and you fucking answered them, all of them to a T. So, you got anything for us? Anything you want to ask personally?
Yeah, so
For any of us, man. It can be personal
Logan
questions,
is
whatever.
such a busy person. You have so many different projects and stuff to where it's sometimes it's a little bit hard for me to keep up with it all. So I feel like I should know more about you guys than what I actually do. To where I want to know more about how you guys work together with like your independent thing.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about that, right? I want to hear a little bit about that. And a little bit more about how this came to be and how you guys were starting out, because you guys are how many episodes in now? 58 that we said?
58,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy. So
I think Vince should start with that, how
Yeah.
we came together, and then Mike add in some. Jared.
Well, it all started May of 2020. We started watching or April 2020. Started watching The Last Dance every Sunday.
Okay.
At first
Michael
it was
Jordan.
me, Jared, and Mike the first Sunday, and then we are like, fuck, we need to invite Barnes. So the second Sunday he started coming in everyone after that, and then I remember
Wait,
just
did
hanging.
you just say I wasn't in the first?
No, I don't think you were. No, the first one you
the
weren't.
first one you
okay.
weren't there, yeah.
And then I just
Could
remember like us like hanging out on my patio, like just talking, like sitting there, like, man, I would just love to just record this, and I like to listen to us talk, so I think other people would maybe find interest in us
Yeah,
talking, and I know we know a lot of interesting people, and that we could bring on, and if we could figure this out, it took a minute to like we stopped hanging out in May. Jared moved back to Washington, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he went back after the pandemic kind of went down, because he came back during the pandemic. So then he was planning on coming back eventually. He started making his way back from California, like from Washington, got stuck in California, I believe, for a couple months. He got back in October, and we're like, okay, we can finally start the podcast.
Right.
I started building like the table,
There you go.
and everything. I started like planning
imagine
out,
this
like,
table just literally wood.
Yeah.
there was nothing on the walls. I don't know, like we had like this little recorder. I had the laptop. I was trying to figure out how to like make that work.
This was before I started school too.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right?
we just like found like he had a microphone.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
yep.
Awesome.
It just became a thing of every Sunday, man. You know,
Yeah.
it was weird because, you know, we live in a world of a majority of us have to live by our weekends, you know.
Yeah,
for
it's
the
hard to
most
plan
part. And
anything. You know, let's just fly by the seat of your pants the best you can.
Vince explaining how like busy Jay was with traveling, and just we all had different things going on for sure. But once we finally got together, it was like every Sunday we were like having to pause the documentary of the Michael Jordan because we'd be talking outside and stuff. And it was like, we just,
Yeah, we'd be talking for like an hour.
it was like
we missed
every
it.
single time we're like, man, we gotta do this again. You know, we gotta do it again, and we just it's just became, man, every Sunday here we are. And
I was so thankful that they came out with 2 episodes like on the night
Oh yeah.
of, right?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they
Back
air
to
2
back, yeah.
episodes? So it's like, we get to watch a whole nother episode.
Yeah, 2
But yeah,
hours.
just kind of like collectively, because I mean we've known each other for most of our lives. At this point now, I think we can say that.
Yeah,
And-
definitely.
and,
13 years old.
I mean, 10 years plus.
I've known
all of
Vince
us,
since
so.
third grade. Mike,
right.
Jeff since I was in fucking pretty much first grade. So if I, you know what I mean.
So I've known you what 2-3 years now, something like that.
Strong. I feel like a strong 2.5,
Yeah.
3 at least.
A firm too.
Yeah, firm 2.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
for us, when it come to starting it too, yeah, like you're the perfect example of why we're doing this. You know, we had our rough patches or whatever, but like us talking is fun and all, but there's so many interesting people out there.
Yeah.
Like it's why not? Like why not?
Yeah, no, it
not
really
try
is
it?
crazy. Like some of the very particular interests that people have and how they can really build their entire life around it. Like whether spiders are your one thing, right? Whether snakes are your one thing, or
Mike, tell him your one thing.
yeah,
Oh, I was gonna get into that
I knew
because
it.
I think we all have our
you
own
go.
things, but me myself, I'm the youngest, right? I've been surrounded by them my whole life, and my blood brother, one of my older brothers, was best friends with Jared and Logan. He graduated with them. They
He
were
was
all-
at my house. We all went to my crib on Meridian right down the street. I'll drive by it when we leave.
They
bro.
they
every day.
they
just
took
drove by
me
the other
under
day.
their
Vince,
wings
every day.
They all took me under their wings. They're all my big brothers. They're all my idols. You know, I've always looked up to them. So that's
We
kind of
passed like the party torch on to him
There
after
you
we
go.
left.
Straight up, bro.
like they had their group, and you know, through high school and everything. And it's like I always looked back at myself as like my brother kind of passed me the torch of the same thing, and it was just yeah. But
Bless you.
thank you.
fucking to go into my thing, like I collect pins, enamel pins. I don't know if you've seen a lot of
Yeah,
them or
I've
ever
seen
collected
some,
them
yeah.
yourself, but I collect a lot of shit. I'm just a collector, man. I like interesting things, and to go with like kind of how we got the podcast set up now. You know, there's always things to look at. I was showing Vinny a minute ago. One of these caps right here just says All Grass Brewing Company. I've never seen that. So it's like, I know that's really random, but like I've always had the unique eye for, I've explained to all my friends. So I feel like as a man that, especially me as a kid, my dad would take me to his buddy's house and we'd go into his garage, and every man has this space. Every man has this space. So let me explain that, like everything cool that a man owns, they like to put in one space and be like, look at my cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like,
Yeah.
I've always been like kind of addicted to that. So I have like my man cave of all this stuff. I've got hundreds of pins.
Right.
So many pins, bro. I'm talking.
No,
Yeah,
I
some
believe-
badass pins.
believe
How much money have you spent on pins, do you think, Mike?
It's
You
been
don't, you gotta give me a number, but above $1,000.
yeah, it's been above two.
Above two?
And I've only collected for the past 2 years. So
It's
it
gonna keep
started
growing,
literally with like one pin. Someone got me as a gift. They didn't think I'd even really
Do you
like.
remember which pin it was?
Yeah.
What was it?
It's a green Scooby-Doo pin.
I know.
Nice.
Is
I
that
know
what
which
started
one
it? You're
is.
just like, fuck
It's a green Scooby-Doo pin. My girlfriend got it for me as a birthday gift, and it was just like a cheap $25 pin. I'm
awesome.
obsessed with Scooby-Doo.
I dig it.
Got the tat.
So I fucking
Show him the tat.
yeah.
It's that Scooby tat.
There we go,
baby.
yeah.
Come
I
on.
dig it.
But I collect Scooby-Doo shit too. So there you go.
Lots of Scooby.
But I'm a
stuff.
collector. I guess that's my thing. And then I wanted to explain like my connection to all of them is from my brother. I'm the youngest out of 5 siblings, so
Oh yeah. Wow.
you know I've matured faster. I feel like
Yeah. I think you
'cause I
had to
haven't-
fend for yourself with 5, right?
Yeah. But I love all these guys. These guys are fucking the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big brother status.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like it really came down. Yeah, it's just the love what we have, the love for each other, and just the love for what our interests are. We're all pretty interested in similar things, and I feel like that along like trying to reach out to other people, and it's cool to learn this with you guys. You know what I mean? So that's like it's like interesting, and we love being together. So it's just I don't know that And it's cool too, because Vince, this is kind of your little space, is it not? Like,
This is
you know what
his
I mean?
space.
In your household, like you got your collective shit, just like right here. This is the zone.
I hang out in here a lot, probably a lot more than I should.
No, don't say that. This is the spot, bro.
It's just like I don't know, like like I wish we had cameras we could show like all the stuff on the walls. I don't know, like you can.
Well, that's the
see.
benefit of becoming a guest and coming on the podcast.
Oh, you're goddamn right.
Yeah. Right there it is. Look, you're getting
But I just sit out here and look at stuff sometimes.
exclusive look at Barnes'
See, like
forehead.
I liked this. I like this a lot, but it's like I just needed a wall of living stuff, so that way it's always moving.
See,
like,
that's your cool
I can
stuff.
just stand up and I can look at it. It's right there above my desk, you know. So, fish over here, geckos over here.
Right.
I'm good.
We got music stuff over here.
could go
movies.
to fucking hours.
I'm starting to run out of room, so I need.
Because we're all interested in sports, science, society, fucking
music.
fucking
movies,
movies. Huge music fans. Fucking video games.
Yeah.
I mean, we
anything
dibble dabble with
conspiracy
everything,
shit,
Of
man.
course.
history.
Nick, you're into video games.
A little bit, yeah.
What?
Elden Ring
I have it. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been playing a little bit.
Interesting.
He's PC.
pisses
Yeah,
me off.
PC. Mm-hmm.
You've been
So
you
hard.
playing it, Mike?
Yeah.
It's,
I've taken my breaks because I'll fucking lose my mind.
Break that controller.
So I've been
Listen, anybody out there watching me right now,
Yeah.
Elden Ring is so fucking hard, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. They got fucking little dogs
You tell 'em,
in the
Mike.
game that'll fucking kill you in one shot.
Little dogs.
Oh
You know
my
about these
God.
I know
dogs?
about the dogs.
And these little fucking crabs, they're like the
I
strongest
think-
characters in the
I
game, and
think
they're not even
the-
supposed to be strong.
I think one of the developers for the game has like emotional trauma attached to dogs, and so he has to project that through his game. I think that's kind of where it's headed.
If you get bit, you are fucked.
Hey, I gotta go into another rant real quick too. All these motherfuckers beating the fucking game in 20 minutes with these stupid glitches. You motherfuckers,
18 minutes now.
Listen, 18 minutes my ass. You fucking loaded in the game, backed out, glitched your fucking ass halfway through the map, and then beat 2 or 3 bosses and said you beat the game. No, you beat every fucking boss in that game. It'll take you days.
Damn.
And I think
Motherfucker.
there's
This
something
is
too.
Elder.
It's like from the
Elden
competitive
Ring.
standpoint.
It's
I
the
think
same as
there's
Dark
like,
Souls and shit.
If it doesn't win Game of the Year, I'll fucking shit on another card.
I think there's categories for that stuff, like the speed runs or whatever. It's like there's glitch categories, there's an unglitched
Yeah.
category, and then there's like just playing it the right way or whatever. And I don't know. And people will make a competition out of anything.
Right.
Yeah, so
No doubt, no doubt.
That's
Yeah.
my rant for the week. I'm sorry.
Does it have like a story mode, or does it have to be that hard? Like,
I think it
or
typically
is it
is
all online?
it's very straight, but now it's open world.
You guys
for the
ever
first
played
time,
Dark
so-
Souls? It's the creators of Dark Souls. They're notoriously known for not like hard games, just challenging games. They're not made to be just like
Easily ran.
Apparently this is a
Right.
top
You gotta
5
study,
game all
you know?
time.
You have to take your
Elder?
time. It'll take, dude. Like
That's
people will get
like
mad.
Not games that we like, but
It's just rewarding when you actually overcome that boss.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I'm
it's-
saying.
yeah.
People get mad.
That's
It's like
all I
it took
mean.
me 45 minutes to beat this boss. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's a good boss. That's
Yeah.
a good
Boss.
fight.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it. Like,
You just fucking
Yeah.
spent 45 minutes of your life
Dude,
working
yeah,
your brain.
there's times
Ross. I'm the
where I've
boss.
been so pissed at the fucking video game. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, again.
Doom,
I don't
Doom, I'll get stuck.
UFC with fucking Jason.
I'll keep getting knocked
Vince.
out. Yeah. Oh yeah, he would fuck you
Run
up.
it back. I want it again. Like, I'll go until I at least want the other person to quit. At least if I'm
Right.
getting my ass whooped,
Yeah, I do that too, Jared.
gotta
the
keep
same
trying.
thing.
But you're right, Mike. You got to take those breaks, like you said too, because it's
I've been
sometimes
playing
it's just like
Tiny Tina's
not today,
Wonderland.
man.
yeah, I haven't played that one yet.
Borderlands game.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big Borderlands fan.
Borderlands is cool.
Yeah,
Love
I did play the first one. I played the second one, and then I just kind of like fell out of it a little bit.
Third one-
I'm not a huge fan of the open world stuff.
Third one and the sequel sucked for the most part. But
I don't really like the open world stuff where you gotta have like such a huge inventory of things to be able to even do.
Which is funny I say
anything.
that because like I didn't like playing Dark Souls. It didn't
Yeah.
suit me. But once it was open world, I was all for
Yeah.
it. So I've been having quite a bit of fun. I think I only have like 60 hours into it or something like that, and I'm still.
Yeah,
not
I think
very
you have a little
far,
bit more
so-
than me. I've only got like 30 something.
So I haven't played it in a few weeks now, so I'm just kind of chilling with it.
Is it with
Man, speaking of
what is
video
it?
games,
Elden?
Yeah, Elden Ring,
I know. I keep thinking
Elden Ring.
Elder.
Elder.
Elder Scrolls.
I thought I saw someone made like a Thor and like a a Thanos character on there.
Yeah, there's some like
there's all
mimicking
kinds of
stuff that you can
crazy
get, like
shit.
different items or whatever that kind of let you build different stuff.
Yeah.
So is that like through the game, like they let you have that skin, or is it like people kind of
that's
like hack
people-
or not hacked,
That's
but like
people-
modded?
Just doing their best with what the game gives them to look like that.
Yeah.
They don't make specific skins like, oh, look like Thanos. It's not Fortnite. It's
Kind of like
Right.
Dungeons and
not
Dragons
Fortnite.
a little bit too, like when you build your character sheet.
no
there's a
Tiny
little bit of
Tina's is
that.
Dungeons and Dragons. The game I just
I saw a meme today that said Dungeons and Dragons is just a game where you convince your group to have a trip that's really not a trip or something like that, like a fake trip. You convince a group of people to have like a fake trip.
Acid trip?
yeah.
Well, like
Oh no!
Hit 'em
Watch
with a
out for the
placebo dose.
Minotaur.
that's what I'm saying. Like you're like fake. You're playing a game. You're like
I've been
imagining shit.
Okay.
I've literally been doing this exact thing right now. The game I've been talking about, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, is a Dungeons and Dragons style game where everything the game is like you'll roll, like it'll roll the dice and it'll like just say the story, like whatever the game says is what is about to happen. Like it's like that's what it's about. It's like your imagination is the game.
Okay, now I understand what you're saying. Like you're not actually going through the story and doing it. It's just telling you.
No, I mean you are, but
It kind of reminds me of like those Goosebumps books. Like it'll be like, if you want to run away, turn to page 54.
Jared,
But
why are you in
if you want to
Ukraine?
stay and fight, turn to page 36.
Did you hear Vinny, bro?
Jared, why are you in the Ukraine? I can hear fucking planes going overhead.
yeah.
Oh,
in
shit, don't worry about
41, hey, in episode 41, the clip I've been talking about today,
was
there
on
was an airplane hovering over Jared.
Mike reacted so soon. He's like,
Bro, I'm telling you, I need rights to my airspace.
Damn
like, I'm
it.
sick
Yeah,
of
fucking
it. I need
airspace.
to have my
I was
fucking...
cracking up at that clip.
oh shit, man.
I'm about to get me a drone with a turret on it.
Just
shoot down other drones.
I was telling Barnes we'll be at 100 episodes before we know it.
Oh yeah.
in a fucking
Don't talk
farm.
about
I think
it.
that's the most important thing is just being consistent about it.
Yeah.
Just doing it. I mean, that's like when I got partnered on YouTube,
how do you-
that was all you had to do is just do it every week, one day a week.
How do you, how do you feel coming back on a future episode, bringing some of your I mean, I don't even know what to call them. I mean, bring whatever you want in.
I could do that, but it'll definitely have to be warmer in here. Tropical.
no.
Yeah.
Warm it up.
We can work it out.
It'll be warm in the summer for
Cool,
sure.
cool.
It gets
You
real
know-
warm in the fucking
Toasty, I like it.
We'll talk more about it later
sure.
on, but we just got done doing a podcast on the road, so we can do that too.
Okay. That could be cool. Yeah.
But did we get a good enough explanation? I kind of went fucking deep on myself explaining
On
to
how
you.
we
But
did
did you want to learn anything else from us, or
So I think I'm all right. I think I would like to come back and definitely get to know you guys more just
Yeah.
through seeing what you guys are into and how you guys kind of interact with each other and just spend time with you guys because it's the first time I've really met you guys and it's all hearsay at this point. So, but you guys seem cool to me. I appreciate you bringing me on and hanging out. And
Bloom Dog
and I'd
number 2
certainly like to
coming
meet
up.
you in person sometime too. So
Yeah, Jared, when you say you're coming back, like May?
I'm trying to get there like May. Trying to make that movie premiere. So
Damn it,
what is that
Barnes,
like
we
May
have to get up there
7th?
this week.
Oh yeah, fuck. We gotta.
Yeah.
I can
Can't
come.
forget.
Trust me. I can.
we can do that? It's
go.
fun. We got it.
Wait, do what?
We gotta go up to the movie theater and talk
Set up
to him.
our-
I keep forgetting.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we got time.
So let me ask you this: what's been kind of your funnest part of doing all of it, man? Just like, is it the selling? Is it the actual soil? Is it the creatures itself? Is it the
it's definitely being around the animals every day. That is definitely a big part of it. Actually being able to do that and for it to be self-sustaining, to where I don't actually have to pay out of pocket to support the animals. It's self-sustaining, but really it's ridiculous. That's my favorite part of it. I mean, it's roly-polies. I get to go ahead and make 4 or 5 or thousands of dollars in some cases with roly-polies as a 24-year-old. It's ridiculous. And if that doesn't keep
He's
you humble, I
hustling
don't
over
know
there.
what
His
will.
Bloom hustles.
Bloom hustling in the building, baby.
But I mean, it was an accident. I just stumbled
Bloomer
into it.
Bioactive building. I'm telling you.
Yeah. just trying to, invent some new stuff that can help people keep their animals better. And just whatever happens to come through my mind. I've done a couple of different interesting things, growing different gourmet mushrooms or growing different plants and figuring out, oh, this does work better.
I was gonna say, I know that was a generic question.
Yeah.
I was kind of, because I just know there's got to be something in your process of like, whether it's like mixing something or.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get until you figured out a good process? Like I have a.
Well, process for what?
I have a venture that I'm working on, and it took me about 6 months to get a good like working process down to where I had like
an idea of what you were gonna.
Well, like say like I have enough supply of this to supply this to supply this. Like keep it going. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Funny as fuck.
Go ahead. Yeah, no. There was a point because I grew it exponentially. So I started with one species, and then I had 2 species. Then you start to snowball it. Next thing you know, you're ordering 3 or 4, but they're worth $200 when you started with some that were worth 10, 20. But you sell enough of them to be able to do that kind of stepping stone thing. Okay. And that's kind of how it snowballs. Yeah. But
different species.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I said, it's the collector's thing, and chances are, because there's so many, you're going to have something that somebody else doesn't have, and they're just going to be looking for a particular thing. And if you have it, they're going to buy it.
Oh yeah.
Because
hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is there anything like you got your eye on? Is there like a rarity that like you're trying to look for the most?
Unicorn centipede.
Yeah, so there are some species that are like spiky that I think are really cool, but they're so exotic and they're so hard to come by that I'm not comfortable buying them because I don't know for sure if they're poached or if they're
because you don't know if they're gonna overcome you and just eat your whole body.
That
I
too.
feel you, bro, because they're fucking not from this planet.
I'm more concerned about them eating my wallet because this species is in the realm of like $650.
He said you might as well just hand him the $100 bill and let him eat that.
Yeah.
So if you wanted it instead of being poached, how could they? What would it just like? So from birth, they just have to have.
It's one generation in captivity, and ideally, you're never exporting a native animal from its native country to somewhere it's not supposed to be. You're breeding it there in its home and then moving it over, or at least a portion of them to where that can happen again. And at the same time, that obviously can create some issues for genetics. You don't want the same 5 breeding over and over and over and over and over again. So
so that's why you would get a new one. That's another neat.
And there's some incentive too. Like I said, just because I have 30 species doesn't mean that somebody else is going to have the same 30 species to where we can maybe take money out of the equation and just trade.
The good old trading.
Yeah. So we get a barter system going just because these are expos. They are a little bit more behind closed doors. And that's not always a good thing either. I don't advocate for it. I've seen some stuff for sale that's like, why are you doing this? I mean, geckos or lizards with bloody noses because they're wild caught animals slapped into a deli container. It's not cool. And I don't know how people are okay with it. I just don't get it.
So. Yeah. Yeah, there's one thing I can't stand is animal cruelty, man. That's
exactly what it is.
I don't know. It's probably worse than seeing that, like humans for me, for some reason. You know what I mean? A human getting hurt. When I see like an animal get hurt, I don't know. There's something about it. Fuck Marley and Me, man. Fuck that movie.
So fuck them.
I Am Legend. That movie sucks too. Damn it.
No.
Hey, don't you dare bring up the dog.
No.
I will.
Fucking Bambi. Why does Disney try to pull on the heartstrings so hard?
They always.
But there is a nurturing to it because that's a live. You're dealing with something that's alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's cool that you like to be responsible with them. You know what I mean? Like you have a care.
That was something I realized. It's like there's a lot of normal stuff I could have done, but it's just not interesting to me. Like I've done retail stuff. I've done all these different stores, front end, back end, talk to people, bartend. I've done all of this and it's not been interesting to me or satisfying whatsoever. But yeah, I think the risk and the responsibility of dealing with live animals is interesting. I don't know if it's a responsibility. I don't know if it's the drive because I mean you don't really get to have a bad day. Those animals need to eat no matter what. Right. The geckos too. So if you want to be depressed and slump, I mean your animals might actually suffer for it. I mean, with the 5 fish tanks, that is 800 pounds of water that I change once a week.
And he lifts it by his
And with cat litter buckets, I got 4
What
of
he's
them stacked
saying
up.
is call him daddy, all right? He's out here
I
feeding
live-
these
okay.
motherfuckers.
No. But I mean, it is a lot of physical work. And it's like I was in that car accident for a little bit ago and I was out for like 2 months and had to build strength back. And really, I don't think if I had the fish tanks, I would have been able to do it because I wasn't doing any physical
They were
therapy
like
or
your-
anything. Yeah, that was my Rocky moment, getting back into
I
it.
was
and taking
taking
care of
Rocky.
the
Yeah.
They're all cheering for you.
Jared.
Yeah.
You don't
Hey,
have,
I want to do a quick shout out.
all right, go ahead.
Quick shout out to Womps Laser Works. It's an artist out of Mesa, Arizona. The Instagram page is so dope.
They have like custom laser design stuff. They have like a laser engraver.
Yeah,
So-
I see some
Oh, dope.
grinders right here.
This guy, his name is Tyler Wampler. He
Okay.
very close to our age. I grew up with him. Not grew up with him. I played soccer with him.
Oh, wow.
Throughout my life.
Yeah.
Very hardworking guy. Very good person. Couldn't be a better guy. You know.
They're sending
Cool.
us a package tomorrow. I assume some pretty badass stuff.
You can get cups.
So-
You can get
Oh.
lighters. You can get grinders.
We're
you
gonna
can
send
get
them back some merch.
We need to
anything
get
laser
some- yeah.
engraved. It's all custom
look.
design
Pistol?
stuff. Pistol. Oh damn!
Look at that.
They have
baby. She's clean.
like engine like covers,
Engine
valve
covers.
Yeah.
Fucking
This
right
bad
on.
boy right here.
Yeah,
We need to
that's
get,
that's his own
Sky's the
personal
limit.
project. He built this right here for everyone looking.
Wow, for real.
Yeah, that's
I,
Wampler.
I
built
forgot that he moved to Arizona.
So yeah, look up Womps Laser Works with a Z at the end. Works.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to him too. I haven't seen him in a while, and he's a fucking
Doing
a hell
his
of a
fucking
guy.
thing.
He's a
dude.
hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Man.
Cool.
I haven't seen him for a minute either. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Dude, he's so fucking fast, man. Oh my god, bro!
Like literally,
Fast?
sorry, like
Yeah, I
running?
played soccer with.
He was
him,
always
dude.
the most cut dude I
Oh
knew.
my
Like, just
God,
like
bro.
just like
just
cut
passing you, Mike. You're like,
No, he was like every
Like-
soccer team has
0% body fat.
every soccer team has one player that they put in for the specific reason that they are faster than everybody on the field, and that was that man. That dude, he could be. He didn't have a position. All right, Tyler, you know what I'm
was the
talking about.
field.
Coach put him in. He was at the front of the field when the ball was down there, and he'd be the first one to be at the opposite side of the field when the ball was
Cardio,
at the
too.
other end. Like, he was a fucking beast. And when I say he's got hard work ethic, I mean it. He's always been a fucking badass. So, shout out.
Cool to see him. Yeah, what he's got going on. He's got.
I didn't know
It's
he
cool
was
to see
doing
the-
that.
Yeah,
development,
I hit him
man.
up a few weeks ago, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll send you a package." Like, "Fuck yeah, I'll send you guys some shit back too." We'll
need to do a little collaboration. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They could make something with the last dab on it.
I
and we
assume-
could create a cool. Shirt.
I don't want to assume, I guess, but I hope that's what it is.
Hey, I mean, that's what I mean. That would be dope. Yeah.
Hey, Tyler, if you're listening to this, I'm going to already tell you I want a custom flask made for me. I'm a big flask guy, so I'm going to get me a flask. We'll have to work that out, but shouts out.
Hell yeah,
Cool.
yeah. We're gonna try to supporting people's businesses we know. Not even like I don't like to call them sponsors, I guess, but like affiliated, like collaborations, I guess.
Collabs
We
and
don't do the
advertisements.
sponsor
People that
stuff.
you know, support, you've vetted, all that.
yeah.
fun
We don't do the
stuff.
sponsor stuff unless Bud Light, you want to sponsor me real quick.
Modelo for Jared.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Fine,
Jared,
sir.
where's your Modelo? You're not
I-
fighting with a passion.
I've been having stomach issues. It's the aloe drinks for me.
Okay, stand natural.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Bloomer Bioactive.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
So if you head on over to
Bloomer.
bloomerbioactive.com, I've got all my available species there. You can also get me on Instagram, Facebook, or email me at nick@bloomerbioactive.com. And I always have moving inventory and availabilities and stuff. So just really get with me and I'll do what I can to do right by you. So
Right on.
How far do you is it everywhere, right?
yeah, so it's everywhere except out of the country. So, but even then there are some restrictions. There's some species.
You don't want to go out of the country and experiment?
Well, if I were to go out of the country, I'd want
Go to the jungle?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would absolutely love to go to Costa
bro.
Rica, Peru, the Amazon. So the
Interesting.
discus are from the Amazon. You know,
Oh,
actually
okay.
see some of this stuff before it's gone for good. Because
You've blown my
it will
mind
be.
today. Dude.
No doubt.
I'll have to
no
throw your
doubt.
website
Yeah.
and stuff in the bio.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for the episode for sure.
What else? What we want to talk about? Some current events. We usually like to do some current events.
Yeah, let's do it.
You can say whatever you want. If
Yeah,
you
I
got
think I
an
got one
opinion
of
on
mine.
it, go ahead. So,
What about the big one?
I mean, we got everything from March Madness right now. It's about to end. We got fucking NBA, kind of some shit down there. If you want to go,
to playoffs.
well, I
Yeah,
just
I'm
I
artsy,
wanted
but
to.
I know I'm not sporty at all. I'm
What would you-
What you got?
I was gonna say we can do like the Will Smith thing. We can do whatever the fuck we want. So just anything.
Who believes that was completely real?
I don't think it was real,
Yeah.
but I don't understand why they did it.
I think it was just like, and I've definitely like I was skeptical on whether or not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like, you know, at first I wanted to think like, nah, they you know, they just wanted views on
Yeah.
that. But then whenever I look at it, like it looks like in Chris Rock's eyes that he's like literally like he didn't know what to say. Like he was honestly just like pretty shocked about what happened.
Yeah.
And what's that?
No, yeah, I agree.
And it looked like I couldn't tell how he hit him. I was like, did he hit him? Or like I was still like kind of like shocked by it, like what the fuck happened? But honestly,
Would
I
you
mean, I'm just gonna
die
tell you guys
behind
what I think. I mean, okay, listen, like Chris Rock is like a comedian, so you know what I mean. It wasn't like that bad of a joke, but
It
honestly,
was a great
like
joke. It was fine. There should be no people pissed off about the joke. Now,
I mean, it's not a reason to hit anybody. You shouldn't hit somebody like over word. You know what I mean? Like words. You know, it's just words. If it's not that big of a deal, you know what I mean?
there's stories about how there's on the Brendan Schaub TFA, whatever the fuck it is, the TFA.
Firing the kid.
Yeah. Sorry. They were talking about how there was previous incident where like I don't know if it was the Oscars or some type of award show where Will Smith and Chris Rock were both attending. Chris Rock was the host just like this, and he had said some unprompted, unscripted jokes towards Will Smith's wives before, and Will Smith did approach it backstage as a man saying, hey, let's not do that. And then here we are again, supposedly the same situation. So it was kind of like a previous beef there, supposedly, but there's I'm going to say my quick opinion on it real quick of like the things that people should be focusing on. The fact that it is comedy and it was a joke, and that we need to make sure that now here in the future that I feel like there's already been a lot of people talking about how that was the end of comedy. That now anything publicly, you're not going to be able to do comedy like that again.
Right.
Because of what Will Smith did. Do I believe that's truly going to happen? No. But I do believe we need to, as a society, look at this and be like, listen, this is like way overdrawn, overblown.
Yeah.
And Chris Rock's joke was just a joke. Whether it was prompted, whether it was paid for, whether it was not, it doesn't matter. We need to look at it and say, comedy is comedy. People should be able to make jokes about whatever they want.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to say about it was that Will Smith has been a fucking laughingstock for multiple years.
Because of her.
Here's my conspiracy, and this is what I want to say. I think Jada, his wife or whatever, has something on him.
Oh.
I think there's some deep dark something that Will's got hiding.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, and I don't want to make the claim like that, but I really truly believe that Will does some of the things he does because they've got too much together. There's so much more to this. There's so much more to the story that people don't know, and they just need to remember that they are human beings just like us. And that's what I'm going to say.
I don't know. She might not be human.
They are human beings just like us, and the fact that their life is publicized should not fucking mean, like, it's just a shame to see, man. I don't know.
I agree.
I was gonna say it's a good point that you brought up. Like one, the fact that like it's nobody's business really about like what happens internally, and a lot of their private shit has been surfaced.
Yes,
and like you said, Barnes, because of her. And I feel like that is a lot on Will also, like because I'm sure he also wants to have like a a nice.
At the end of the
look
day,
of,
that's the
like
mother
a-
of his children. So it's like,
he's trying to protect like
Yeah.
his family and his legacy and all that. Yeah. So, and it's really hard whenever everyone fucking capitalizes on the moment and makes memes and fucking jokes. It's funny as fuck, yes, but it's hard, and that's kind of the position that you put yourself whenever you are the person in the limelight. And I kind of wanted to bring up the point that Jim Carrey had a negative opinion on this whole thing, and this is partial to the reason why after Sonic the Hedgehog, he doesn't even like want to be messing with this stuff anymore.
I saw that,
he's
bro.
done acting.
I saw that
So
about
he's
Jim
retiring.
Carrey.
Yeah,
so he retired for
He's
what
basically
reason?
from
saying,
acting.
Yeah, just he's
He's just
basically
done.
said
He's like, I got
done.
nothing else to do.
What does that have to do with anything? He's been doing it for 45 years. That's normal.
Because
Why
no,
are we-
I was saying that he commented on this situation
There was
and
that
was saying
too.
how distasteful that this was, and just that this is all being because of it's being overblown. It's kind of like, I mean, like Jim Carrey, he doesn't have to, like you said, he's been doing this for so long. He doesn't have to have any sort of name. He could quit. He could do whatever he wants to do. But I see why he doesn't want to be in the limelight. Like, look how much shit causes when you put yourself in the center of attention. Like everyone, it's like the Pam and Tommy shit, the sex tape.
Yeah.
Boom.
I wanna watch
fucking
that
Bill
show.
Clinton. All, you know what I mean? It's gonna get through the internet, and
Just
now
like
it's
Joe
everywhere.
said, he's
So
Kim
not doing-
Kardashian.
Joe Rogan's no longer doing politicians anymore because it's just
really?
too much. He's like,
yeah.
and he
Yeah.
said it multiple times in his podcast. If this ever becomes a thing where I have to start watching what I say, he's like, I'm not going to do it anymore. And he said every time I have a politician on, that's what it becomes. All right, let's put our headphones back on.
Put our hands together and pray.
Get Jared back in here.
My tummy.
Sorry about the.
gonna take
Apparently,
one
my
of these.
laptop battery's bad, so I need
If
to
you don't
replace it.
mind.
Yeah, go for it,
You need to
please.
get a new laptop battery.
I guess it won't run without it plugged in because it did that to me today when I was trying to set everything up. It got unplugged and then fucking died.
Damn, that motherfucker.
You guys know Greg Martin?
Yeah.
He does his own business of like live
Reptiles.
live reptiles and like
You guys should
Even
do
like-
some work together.
like he sells feed like for all kinds of different reptiles and stuff like dead
Yeah.
shit. Like I mean it's like rats. I mean fucking
Yep. Stuff's got to
everything.
eat, you know?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he just like he's into all kinds of it's exotic animals.
Yeah.
like that's
exactly what it is. You know, the exotic animals.
And he's about our age, and it's really I've not talked to him about it, but I've seen some of the stuff he's done. It's like, wow, I didn't even know you could sell some of the shit he's selling.
yeah, I mean, even some stuff like wet specimens, you
Right.
know, or like different taxidermy. I mean, yeah, it's all stuff that people are still interested in, and some of it is kind of.
I don't know his business name or whatever, so I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of interesting, you know, just how many different people have like really odd skill sets and how they can more or less come to the same spots and just make it work, make a good chunk of change or something, you know, or at least support the rescue or
Dude, I
whatever.
was fucking talking or doing that whole time earlier with I couldn't hear.
I know you
anything.
because
Oh, was I way too far back? Or?
No,
Wait,
no, not from you. I'm saying from everybody. That
anything
had-
because I didn't have his headphones turned up, but he didn't say anything to me.
Well, I mean, I heard you guys, but I was just so stupid that I couldn't.
No, you were not stupid. How did you?
stupid.
What, Jared wasn't there yet, right?
No, I couldn't hear Jared at all.
Well, that's
I
what I
can
was
hear
saying.
him.
How did? Well, because
Yeah.
I didn't have
Oh,
his
okay.
headphones turned up.
Oh, okay.
So I was winging whatever.
So,
Jared said.
bro, but did it not seem like he
I
knew
thought
exactly
yeah, I was
what
like, you're
Jared
doing
was
all right.
saying?
Okay.
Was he not asking him questions? I feel like
like,
he
take
was,
that back on.
dude.
I feel like you're doing okay.
Yeah.
No, I think
couldn't
you
hear
heard
Jared.
him.
Nobody's
bro.
gonna know. Nobody's gonna know.
How would they know?
Jared at all.
Martin's exotic creations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Martin's exotic creation.
Yeah. Well, you see all kinds of different stuff, like
a
people that work with
porcupine on
crystals, rocks, and geodes. I mean,
Yeah, I like geodes,
just
bro.
plants. Or
Snake,
everybody's got weird
slithery
specialties.
snake.
Real.
Little slithery snake.
Snide.
It's snaky.
Jared, where the fuck you at?
He said he had to reset his phone because it died.
Everyone's shit's dying.
I'm dead.
You guys wanna
Steve Jobs is dead.
finish it
I
out?
called the head of Payless.
What'd you say?
Do you want to talk about anything else before we finish it out? I guess Jared asked me what our plan was.
I can't really think of anything. Fuck.
We can just
I don't know, there's not really in the news going on. I mean, the Will Smith thing's distracting everyone from the Ukrainian war.
Straight up, bro. Straight up.
When was the last time you heard about that? Gas price is still high.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
Lower than what it was, but still high.
it's-
They're talking about Ukraine said that like Russia's doing some like war crime shit.
Probably.
But like no one's saying anything about it, right? Like
Well,
Think
it's
of all
like
the
they
shit that
were
goes
kind
on
of doing some sketchy shit like 8 years ago, and nobody was talking about it. And then now
yeah,
it's-
I remember them talking about that. 2014, right?
Yeah.
Yep. They were like it was a small discussion, but they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it could never actually happen."
and then it happened.
And then it really happened.
Putin's nuts. They were talking. There's this guy that Rogan was talking to about like you having to imagine being Putin in your inner circle. Like you have to, like I have to really trust you
Paranoia.
because you're trying to
Paranoia,
fucking. People are
bro.
gonna pay you to fucking kill me. man.
And you might not actually believe in
Have
everything.
you guys
Yeah.
been watching the South Park episodes?
Bro, they have
No,
been
I need to watch
fucking
them.
bro.
I gotta ruin one little scene for you, but it's
Which one? Which
it's
episode?
Mr. Garrison in the classroom teaching the kids, right? And
He gets all paranoid.
he says, well, sits down and starts teaching the class, but he's teaching the class about his personal life and what he's been doing with his boyfriend and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the class is like, teach us about Putin or something. And he says, Putin? Where'd you guys hear that from? He said, I wasn't Putin. He said, when he pulled it out or something, he said it was like, oh my God, bro.
I remember that.
I forget exactly how they said it. He
was
said,
ju-
I
it was
wasn't
so-
Putin. He said, the only thing Putin was when he pulled it out or something. It was so
I can imagine trying to
fucking-
record that in a booth.
Bro, he was
Because
cracking.
the kids, out
Yeah.
of all people, are like, we want to hear about Putin or something. And Mr. Garrison's just like, Putin? Where'd you guys hear that? He said, I wasn't Putin.
I wasn't Putin. Mackey,
so funny,
Mr.
bro.
Mackey, he gets all like paranoid and shit, and he's like listening to like 80s music, and he's like getting all nostalgic.
You get to
and-
meet his. You get to meet his mom,
yeah.
Mr. Mackey's mom.
Okay.
She's like, okay.
He's like walking around, like getting all up against the walls and shit.
She said,
Did
I
anyone
know.
hear that?
She said, I
Yeah,
know what
is that-
happens
is that
when
Jared?
Is that Jared? I
Jared, are
guess?
you back?
Yeah,
I heard him jangling around.
Jared. You eat chips,
Jared, you
bro?
got snacks?
Eating on a Nutrigrain.
Hey, bro, I got
It's gonna blow our eardrums
Nutrigrain's
out.
great.
I got something perfect for you guys. Listen
you
to
got?
this.
What you got?
So, I saw a meme the other day, and I'm sure people have seen 1,000 different versions of this, but how Netflix is a coin toss of either it's 50-50, it's going to be the greatest show ever, the worst show you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So,
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm on Netflix, I'm watching this show. Is it cake?
Bro,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Listen.
okay.
Is it a good one? Because I didn't want to watch it. I'm
Bro.
like, there's no way. There's
I
no way.
was, dude. My girlfriend had it on, and I'm
like
sitting
me
here.
and
I'm
Harry
talking
probably
shit. I'm
enjoyed
like,
that.
bro, I ain't watching this fucking cake show. And I used to love Cake Boss, so like I like cake shows. I loved Cake Boss. Big fan.
For disclosure, the
Right.
man likes
Right.
cake
Yeah,
shows.
you know me and
She
dessert
put
fan.
this show on. I'm like, I'm not watching this shit. And then I got to watching it, bro. We watched every episode. It's fucking amazing. I swear to God, it's
Are you
cheesy.
fucking cake right now? Man?
Yeah, bro.
Advertising. I love cake.
We're gonna get a fucking mic in here one day, and I'm just gonna start eating it because it's a fucking cake.
The cake is a lie, man.
It's all
Come
fucking
on.
Everything's fucking cake. You take the table.
We all freak out. It's cake. We're fucking freaking out.
Damn it.
Damn, I'm about to watch that
There
now.
are good memes.
It is a
there
good
are
show,
good
man.
memes about that.
There was like
show.
a Japanese show where they
There's
were
some
like had to eat
stupid
different
ass
items.
moments.
Like as I was getting up for work today, you were in the kitchen making noodles, probably on the bed.
Yeah.
Mike
There's
was
memes about
balling,
that, like
bro.
you're like the dad's getting up and the son's like hasn't been to bed and they're passing each other.
Bar kicked us out because we were the last ones there. We shut the place down, you know. And,
Bark?
what?
The bar.
The bar.
Oh, I
yeah,
thought you
we
said
shut the
bark.
bar down.
Shut
And,
the bar down.
we get home.
Close the doors.
We get home. That's.
that's.
But we get home and of course too drunk to get food. So
Yeah.
here Chef Mike is making some ramen noodles for everybody at 4 a.m. Vince getting up to go to work. I'm fucking chefing around,
Chef Mikey.
sending fucking Snapchat videos, drunk as shit in my kitchen. Shouts out.
I'm driving to work.
Bro, shout out Brian. I went over to his crib the other day. He had like this cheesecake he made, bro.
Cheesecake.
Bro, that shit was dummy gas. And he was like, that's basically what he did. He came home from the bar, got every item out, and made something magical.
I made banana bread at 3 a.m.
Buddy of mine,
normal.
buddy of mine
You know.
fucking 2 a.m. the other night playing an Xbox. Fucking, we're all doing our thing, drinking or smoking, whatever.
Yeah.
Buddy fucking 2 a.m. makes a whole lasagna. Whole entire lasagna at 2
Guys, I gotta
a.m.
set the oven.
Bro,
425.
Wait, like by hand?
No, just a fucking whole pan
frozen one.
lasagna in the oven. Took him 45 minutes. Still ate the whole motherfucker 3 to 4
Just
a.m.
in there eating out of the
Lasagna.
He
dog.
said,
Slice.
y'all wanted to get this dinner?
Hey,
over here? It's
over,
like, motherfucker, it's way past dinner,
over
man.
the fucking Xbox mic.
dipping whole
Just
breadsticks
fucking
in.
eating lasagna. What, bro?
Oh, layers
Mute
on
that
layers.
motherfucker.
Yeah, no.
Send me a message when you're done.
Yeah.
Or
Not a
one of-
voice message.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Brock for famously being known for cooking fucking bacon over his Xbox mic. He lives in
That's just too
Colorado,
much,
and that's
yeah.
the only way we can talk to him is on Xbox. But every time we get on there, is I'm just cooking bacon, and all I hear is. It's like,
He's
all
just
right,
frying
Brock,
bacon with
we're
his
gonna
shirt off.
fucking chat to you later, dude.
That's pretty impressive. To do that while playing video games, I'm not. I
He's
can't.
a fucking wild one, bro. He'll hit a dab, feed his cat, fucking make some bacon, and play some games at the
Dab,
same
feed his
time.
cat.
All with the same arm. Somehow he's doing it.
Shouts out to Brock.
Big B Rock.
Listen, as we end this, we're gonna say it again. Bloomer Bioactive, hit him up if you guys
Absolutely.
want.
Yes,
any
sir.
Craziness, dude. You can show me some good ass food or something.
I'll show you in a minute.
All right. No, but for real, we got to shout out to him because it was such a great episode. You did a great job.
I feel like I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
said
did,
my
yeah, I
brain
learned a
was
lot.
tingling because I learned.
So
something.
what's
That-
funny
I-
is that even though I rattled off all this information, I'm sure, or at least I hope, there's quite a few people that'll view this and be in the comments, and they'll probably just perfect everything I said and nitpick it because people that want it to be perfect, I can't spread misinformation, but I'm human.
If
so
anybody
it's what
does
You
it
did
is.
it. Shoot, you did it good enough to explain it to me to where I understood,
Yeah.
what was going on. So
I got a common
Yeah.
interest in him now just from what you've said to me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm honestly like, I've always known about him in a way, but like I didn't know.
Yeah, and I think most people don't like why they are so abundant when we use limestone in sidewalks or gravel. It's predominantly limestone. I mean,
Dude,
we're
there's-
making a lot
There's
of
so much
habitat
more we
for
can
them.
talk about.
So
We got to have you on again, man.
I would love to be on for sure.
awesome,
appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah,
I got isopods in my brain now.
absolutely.
They're like in there.
Just crawling around.
We got to talk more next time too about the ocean ones, like the water.
Say, I really don't know as nearly as much as I should
Well, we
about
got-
them, but
you see those
I do more
fucking-
freshwater than saltwater stuff.
So you know how like they're bigger, the isopods are bigger in the ocean or
Yeah.
whatever compared to the ones on land or
Yep.
whatever. What like it's kind of the same deal with how like the spider crabs in the ocean are ginormous.
Yeah.
but they're still really close DNA wise to like spiders on land.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like so on land they're smaller, but when they get in the ocean they're these fucking.
I don't want no
ginormous
ocean
creatures.
spiders up in my
Bro,
shit.
the ocean
man.
is fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Hey,
it is,
ocean
absolutely.
spider man.
I just saw a jellyfish sting the other day. That was like the most brutal looking sting I've ever seen in my
I
life.
will
Oh
piss
my
on you right
gosh.
now.
Would any of you guys try and get free water certified, like diving certified?
I'm
do
epileptic, so
it.
I don't think.
Oh
I
yeah,
can
we
do
talked
it.
about that a little bit.
I would.
Yeah.
do
I thought
Open
I
water
thought about
diving.
doing that with welding, but then I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
I don't know
crazy
if
money
it's-
for welding.
You could.
That's
yeah.
dangerous, Jay.
That's the most dangerous job.
Yeah, I don't want you to do that, Jared.
Hazard pay.
Unless you're hunting sunken treasure in the bottom of the ocean, don't do it.
Atlantis is real.
We're zooming Jared from a submarine. He's fucking. I gotta go back out, guys.
What's that? What's man? I'm thinking of a movie, and I shouldn't even brought it up
Why?
because I'm not gonna be able to think.
Das
of it.
Boot?
It's a.
I got that. Yeah.
No, not Beer Fest, but
You don't know.
what do you mean?
You take German in high school? No, I'm
No.
just kidding.
Yeah, but Das
Just that
Boot
one
is from-
episode of American Dad is all I needed.
Das Boot. I've seen Beer Fest. That's a good movie too.
Well, that's. I thought that's what you guys were saying.
I'll show you.
All right. Das Boot.
Did you take German?
Das Boot.
Dude,
Hey, those spider
I took
crabs.
3 years of Spanish, Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 twice.
hey, you'll double back.
At the bar last night, fucking whole table, 6 guys, all French, did not speak a lick of English. Walking up to the bar, literally, alcohol. Alcohol. I want.
I saw a Frenchman at the gas station the other day.
Frenchman.
We got so drunk, some of the tables.
Knife.
We ended up pulling up American songs that we were doing on the karaoke at the bar. People were singing. We pulled up the French lyrics for them so that they could understand what the song was. And we were like putting it on the table, trying to. I'm over here with these French guys, singing. They don't know a fucking lick of English. They're just looking around.
Sweet home.
All country songs. Exactly. All country songs. They did not know what to do.
Wait, so I thought you said you got the French lyrics for him.
We did, but they still didn't fucking. They're
French
gonna be singing.
talking ain't as good as it sounds, you know.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
Sweet
singing it in
home
French
Indiana.
and not like it's. They didn't. They didn't know what to do. It was really funny, but there was a girl there
I saw
hit on
Heather.
him,
I saw
and
Heather
she
was
was
getting
hitting on
down on
everybody,
the
and they
karaoke.
got mad. That guy got mad because he was like, "I thought you like me. I thought you like me," you know. And she's like a overly friendly with everybody, you know. She was going home with somebody, is what I'm saying, and. She picked someone else, and that guy got mad. He was actually mad about
pinched?
Huh?
She pinched him?
Yeah.
Like off
sure.
the South Park?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I like
Butters.
just
sexual
like off
matter.
of South Park.
What were you saying, Jay?
Yeah, that was my bad.
He said, I don't remember.
I forget.
Right on episode 58.
Yes, sir. Yeah. With the Bloom dog himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll give you a high
Bloom
five. I like
hustle,
those.
baby.
Yeah, Bloom hustle.
Up top here, man. I got you.
Somewhere. Everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm in the ceiling. I've
Dig
been
it.
here for days. Vince won't let me out.
Up there.
Yeah, we just hear him upstairs. Hey, what the fuck?
We got plenty of
Someone
goods
bring me some
coming to you
water?
guys.
We'll bring you some
Plenty
water.
of
Bring some
goods.
water.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Talk to you
Peace,
next
Jay.
time, Jay.
Love you,
Peace
Jay.
out. Love you, boys.
See you, bro.
Catch you later.
Good meeting you.